because just because we have services, that does not mean that everyone is going to accept them or everyone is in need. So you have to render and distribute with a certain level of wisdom and the resolve to understand that where you are, to be completely cognizant of where you are and who it is that you are serving. Some people are actually there because they just don't want to do better, not because they can't. But my job is to save those who want to. That's the difference.
Now I'm going to tell you the truth, because I asked deliberately a trick question. People always talking about they want us. They doing this to us. They setting trips for us. And somebody asked me, who is they? I said, that's not us. That's who they is. They're not us. But you cannot look at a person and tell the content of their character. They could be black, white, brown, old, young, male, female. It doesn't tell you who they are. DEI is one of the best things that you need to look for: diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what you do is watch their mouth and their feet. Once you watch their mouth and their feet long enough, you know what to do. You moved, it means you got something you're thinking about. Go ahead.
Now, I just want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. We did a panel, I think it was you and I. We were sitting on a panel, and I believe it was like a little bit, what was it, like a year ago with
the guy that came.
Cornel West?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So when we were there, it was individuals that was coming up, and we were sitting there, and I told them, and we were talking about some of the different disparities that were going on in the community. And then, like you were saying, they were saying that what the problem was, quick to acknowledge the problem, and saying they won't do this, quote, whoever they was, right? They're not providing us the services that they need, and the vouchers and everything of that sort for housing and schools and everything. But we're saying that we have services right now readily and available to you if you really want them. So now the people are put on the spot, right? It wasn't so much yelling anymore. Very few people came. So I want to ask you a question. You remember when I asked you to raise your hand? Mm-hmm. And I said, if you really need immediate services right away, there's a gentleman right now that I know is connected to all of the resources that all of you need. The one that was talking about the furniture, the one that was talking about the food, the young man that got up there and said they needed a job right then and there. You remember now, the icebox, the refrigerator. How many people called you? How many people contacted CRC?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Out of that whole crowd?
Out of the whole crowd, but of the 4, there was one lady alone that has contacted me 11 times since then with about 30 people.
See, but that's my point.
Yeah.
My point is, we know that you're going to find some people, the people that's going to, right where you are, you know exactly the type of people that you're going to be serving. Everyone is not there sincerely and wholeheartedly to do the work. They just want the result. But the result is connected to the work. And once you find out that there's actually work involved, the line gets fewer. So I'm not, like I said before, the content of the character for me, after I meet you, right, is your action. What are you going to do from here now that I've actually provided the solution and put it on the table for you? Are you going to walk through the door? Right? And that's what I had to realize. I realized that once I got out of prison, everyone wasn't going to have the resolve like I did. Everyone wasn't going to be connected to as many resources like I did. So I don't expect people to reach the amount of success that I have accomplished over the years like I have. But I just want you to survive and not go back to where you came, because I know that's a possibility as well. But you got to want it.
Now, let me got condemned. Go ahead.
I wanted to make a comment on that, and that's why, in my opinion, you have to be smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be smart to recognize where you're at, and that you have to do the work to get the reward. But you have to be smart. The world is not getting any easier. The programs are not going to be tailored to you. You're going to have to go find them, and you're not going to find one program that it fits you completely. You're just going to find different small pieces in different places.
Yes,
That's what we're saying. I mean, we're talking about AI, and a person made a comment one day, and I was like, wow, this is very true. Either AI is going to get you smarter, you're going to be 20 times as smart that you are today if you know how to use AI. But guess what? If you don't know how to use AI, you're going to be 20 times as dumber
Yes.
as you are today.
Totally agree.
So you have to understand that you have to get smarter and smarter. Knowledge. You have to be able to act. You have to be able to proceed. You have to be able to do that, and to recognize that that's the path. You were very smart. You said, "Hey, I'm not going to go back there at all. So I'm going to be smart. I'm going to look for help, and I'm going to pay it forward, right?" And that's what you're doing right now.
Yes.
But to me, it's just about your strategy. Your strategy should be smart. Be smart, call for help, accept the help, and move to the next phase.
But my question is this. This is based on the studies that I found. Half of the over 50% of the people that were committing crimes, there was a nonprofit organization within 5 miles of their residence for the same crime that they committed, which they said that it was a need, right? If it was theft from a grocery store, breaking into a vehicle, or whatever, or someone said they were stealing or robbing because they couldn't find a job or whatever, there was a nonprofit organization with the same amount of resources within 5 miles of their residence. How could you want something that you don't know is out there for you?
Can I
Yes.
chime in? I think the problem was the nonprofit organization.
There you go.
Because leadership, you were talking about leadership, and leadership is, the why. And the why takes you to care. You have to care about the community. You have to reach out. That's why we're having this podcast. You have to be smart, so that the one that fell in that instance was the nonprofit, not the people around it. It's just the nonprofit didn't have the leadership necessary to go out and do their job.
I totally agree. Great answer.
Well, you condemned anybody that's sitting there that's not doing anything. If you're sitting there listening right now, you should be using your cell phone. You should be calling 469-661-2272, because help is there. I heard somebody say once, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And it reminds me of Sylvia Kaiser. Sylvia Kaiser was fine. She wasn't just fine, she was fine. And back in the day, they used to have a sock hop. And the boys was on one side of the gym and the girls were on the other. And I took off to go dance with Sylvia. Mm-hmm. I was walking across, and her girls started saying, "Here he comes." And they started whispering to each other. They started laughing. Then they started giggling, and they were laughing at me. And I got mad, and I turned around and went back to my seat. Never did go out with Sylvia Kaiser because I didn't take my shot. We're here telling you to take your shot. These gentlemen both have something here that can help you, and I'm going to ask each of them to tell them about the things that they've got going on. In your case, Mara, I want to know about the book that's about to come out.
Oh, great. I appreciate that. Well, the book is called The Rules of Engagement. And what the Rules of Engagement is really, it's a book upon principles of leadership, but it's mainly to how to build an entire community within one as a conglomerate, right? As a collective of everything that we've been discussing thus far. What I've discovered over the years in the community leadership, there were a lot of leadership academies. There are a lot of leadership institutes. but it's from a controlled environment.